Good morning, Year 3. Welcome back. I hope you had a really nice half-term holiday and you managed to get outside and see some sunshine. Right, so we're in the last half-term now before summer, and instead of starting a new science topic, we thought because we're all a bit spread out still, some of you are at home, some are in school, instead of starting a new topic, we're going to spend each week of the next half-term doing a review of each of the topics that we've done so far in science, so you can use this to really get up to speed with everything that we've done. And if you've missed anything, this will help you, and if you haven't missed anything, you can go through it and it will make your understanding a lot stronger than it might otherwise be. So today we're going to be looking at animals, including humans, which was, I think you did that before I joined you in September. Next week we're doing rocks and soils. The week after that we'll do light, and then we'll do forces and magnets, and then the week after that we'll do a big old review of everything we've done. Okay, so our learning intention today is to explain how living things obtain food, and to know why animals need certain types of nutrients. Now, if you're watching this and you haven't already looked at the slides, then you need to go back and do that, because there's an activity that you need to do. There's lots of learning you need to do first, then there's an activity which you can do on your own in your books, and then I'm going to do activity number 2 and number 3 with you right now. So if you haven't done that, stop the video, go and download the slides. If you haven't got access to the internet, then go into school and get the packs that we're handing out to you, and then come back on afterwards. Okay, so I'm presuming that you've already done the slides. So we've learned all about the different kinds of nutrients that you get in food and why they are important. What we're going to do now for our second activity is we're going to go around the house and we're going to look on the backs of the labels of all the things that we can find, and we're going to see what nutrients are inside all the foods that we've got. I'm going to start you off on that. You'll notice that the handout has got a table with lots and lots of room for lots of different foods. I'm aware that you don't all have printers, so if you don't have a printer, that's fine. I'm going to show you how to make a simple version of it in your books. So I'm going to show you how to do that, then I'm going to go and look at some food in my house, and then I'm going to leave you to do the same in your house. And then when you've done that, you can come back for activity number 3. Right, let's get started. Okay, so as you can see, I've made my table go along the page like this, because I think that's going to be a lot easier for us to do. And along down here, I've written the 9 different nutrients that you find in food. So I've got carbohydrates, protein, fats which are saturated, and fats unsaturated. So they're the 2 different kinds of fats. Vitamins, minerals, water, and fiber. So if you look at my page now, you should have already done the first bit. I've got my date, my LO, my first activity, which is what the nutrients do for us, which you will have filled out with the definitions for all the different kinds of foods, the kind of nutrients. And then you're going to leave a line and you're going to write number 2, food packet nutrients, because we are looking at food packet nutrients. And then underneath here you'll have your table. So what we're going to do, we're going to go around and I'm going to find some of my favourite foods, and I'm going to write those in here. Right, so I just grabbed 4 of the things that first came to hand that looked a bit tasty to me. First one is Nutella. I think we can guess that this isn't very healthy, but as you can tell by the size of the jar, I do eat a lot of Nutella. That's one of my bad habits. I've got some orange juice, some green lentils, which I love in a soup, or curry, and some eggs. Right, let's start with our Nutella. Okay, so when you get your packet of food, you're going to want to have a look around the label. You will see ingredients, that's everything that's inside it. You'll also see portion size, usually, which is a trick, because a portion of this is very small, so I usually probably have about 3 portions in one portion. And then, this is what we're looking for. It's a little table, and it's on the back of every bit of food that you get, unless it's pure food. Like if it was fruit, you don't need to put labels, but anything that's got more ingredients that's made by humans, then it will have it will have a nutrition chart on the back. So let's fill in our first one. So the first thing I'm going to do is write Nutella. Alright, so let's have a little look here. So my first thing there is carbohydrates. I'm looking down here for carbohydrates, and I can see it is here. And I think it tells me for every 100 grams, how many grams are in here. So there are 57 grams, 57.5 grams of carbohydrate in every 100 grams. So that's the same as saying 57.5%. And they're saying that for every portion, which is a tiny portion, you will get 8 grams. But for me, it's probably double that. And then you'll see here a percent of your RI. And RI means recommended intake. So that's the percent of calories that you will be needing in a day. So for every portion of this, that's giving you 3% of all of the carbohydrates that you need in one day. But we're not looking at that at the moment. We're just looking at how much is in there. So carbohydrates, it says 57.5. So I'm going to write carbohydrates 57.5, and it's a percent because it's out of 100. Okay, my next one is fat. So let's have a look. My fat is 30 grams, 30.9, and it says of which saturates 10.6. So you're going to have to do a bit of math. This is working out the difference between two numbers. So if my total fat is 30.9 and my saturates is 10.6, first of all, I can put my saturated here as 10.6 grams out of 100, or percent. And if I know my total is 30.9, I need to take away 10.6 from 30.9. So I'm looking at 20.3 grams in 100, or percent. So it's quite a lot of fat in there, actually. Not so healthy. Okay, my next one I'm going to be looking at is, so on my list I've got vitamins and minerals. It doesn't actually tell me how many vitamins or minerals are in here, so I'm going to have to leave that blank. I'm assuming that there's not that many vitamins and minerals in Nutella, but there probably will be some. There'll be bits of salt, bits of other bits, but I'll leave that for now. And again, it doesn't tell me how much is water, but we know that it probably has got some water in it because it's not a solid, it's liquid. But I'm going to have to leave that blank as well. And then I'm going to look for fiber, and it hasn't got anything about fiber, which makes me think that there's no fiber in there, but I don't know that for sure, so I'm going to leave that blank. By law, they have to tell you about fat, carbohydrate, protein, and salt, but they don't have to tell you about all the other things. So let's look at protein. 6.3 grams of protein out of 100, so 6.3% protein. Now we know that salt's a mineral, actually, I've just realised. So actually, if there is 0.1 gram of salt, I'm going to say that that's mineral, so I'm going to write 0.1%. And then we don't know about, oops, I'm not showing what I'm doing here. We don't know about fibre, and we don't know about water, and we don't know about vitamins. So I'm just going to put a little dash there, and that just tells me that I don't know. So, Nutella, quite a lot of carbohydrates, quite a lot of fat. Remember, altogether it's 30 grams of fat. So it's mostly carbohydrates and fat, and about 6% protein. So it's not that healthy. It's got some nutrients in it. It has got some protein in there, but it's not something that you want to be eating all the time, like me. Okay. I'm not going to fill the rest of the table in. I'm just going to show you on the back of these to give you an idea of where you might find your nutrition information. Let's have a look. It's not on the back. Aha, here it is. So this one's got a bit more information. So at the bottom, so a lot of it's the same, but at the bottom it does tell me how much vitamin C is in there. And it tells me there's 25 milligrams, and that is a tiny amount. That's if you divided 1 gram into 100, and then it's 25 of those. But you don't need a lot of vitamins, but there is some in there, so you can write that in there. And it also tells me that there is no fibre in here. So they've bothered to put fibre on the label, but they haven't told, but they just to let me know that there's nothing in there. So if you're going to do orange juice, you could fill that out like that. Let's have a look at my lentils. Here it is. Straight away I picked it up right at the right place. So lentils have got 1.1 gram fat. That's pretty good. And only 0.2 grams saturates. 63.4 grams of carbohydrate. So it's mostly carbohydrate, which remember we need for energy. And only 2 grams of that is sugars, so that's good. It's got 10 grams of fiber, which is very high, so that's really good for you. That's going to help you to digest all of your food and get all of the nutrients out of it. And 25 grams nearly, 24.6 of protein. So with lentils have pretty much got everything you need in there. You could probably survive off lentils. Lots of carbohydrate for energy, lots of protein, lots of fiber, no sugar. Doesn't tell me about minerals on it, but I think they do have minerals in them. Right. So lentils are the way to go so far. Let's have a look what else I've got. I've got my eggs on the back of my eggs. Oh, yep, there it is. Slightly different chart this time. They're all displayed slightly differently, so you have to look out for it. This one's got 4.6% fat, 1.3 grams or percent of, sorry, this is not percent actually, because this is how much nutrients per egg. So in one egg, you get 4.6 grams of fat, of which 1.3 grams is saturates. 0.1 grams of carbohydrate, so no carbohydrate basically, hardly anything in there. Very little sugar, 6.5 grams of protein, and a little bit of salt. So there, it's got the same amount of protein as the Nutella, but way less fat and less carbohydrate. So eggs are quite healthy, I think. Yeah, you can eat a lot of eggs. I eat a lot of eggs. Okay, so that was just to show you where you will find the labels. So your task now is, once you've got your date LO and your activity 1, you're going to copy my table and you're going to find 4 foods that you like. So I'm going to have my orange juice, I'm going to have my lentils and my eggs, but you're going to have something different. And I'd love it if you could take photos of that and send the email to the Year 3 email account, and we'll have a look at all of the wonderful work you've been doing. So the third activity we've got this week is a nutrition diary. So you're going to write down all the food that you have for breakfast, lunch, dinner, any snacks and drinks you've had, and then you're going to look on the back of the packet and you're going to find out the nutrients that are in the food that you've eaten. I think that'd be a really interesting thing to do. So there's actually online a handout that you can print, and it's a proper little booklet, but obviously because some of you don't have printers, I'm going to again show you how to make a simple version of that in your books. Okay, so here we go. So in your book, you're going to write number 3 because it's the third activity that we're doing. I've started a new page because my activity 1 and activity 2 took the whole page. So on my clean page, I'm writing number 3, my nutrition diary. That's my subheading, and you're going to underline it nice and neat. And I've got the day of the week. Today's Wednesday. You start on whatever day you're doing. So the days of the week usually start on a Monday, but if you're doing this on a Thursday, then you can start on Thursday and you can just go right through to the next Thursday. So every day you're going to have the day of the week, and then it's going to say, today I ate ... And then you're going to have breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, and drinks. And underneath there, you're going to have your nutrients. So today, on Wednesday, I ate, for breakfast, some muesli with some oat milk. and it's not lunchtime yet, so I haven't eaten lunch and I haven't eaten dinner, but I have had a snack of some hummus with cucumber sticks, and I have also had 2 cups of coffee and 3 glasses of water. So let's look at my first one, my breakfast, which was muesli with oat milk. I'm going to put all of the nutrients, the main nutrients from my breakfast in here. So if we look at the nutrition information on my muesli, it's telling me that it has got 7 grams out of 100 of fat, 61 grams of carbohydrate, 9 grams of fiber, and 9 grams of protein, and just a little bit of salt. So that's a pretty healthy breakfast actually, because it's not that high in fat. It's got lots of energy to start my day with, lots of fiber, and lots of protein as well. So I would recommend muesli for your breakfast. So I think the main things that are in there that I can write down are carbohydrate, fiber, and protein. That's what it's high in. So I'm going to write muesli, and muesli. Oops, can't spell muesli. Okay, so I know that my muesli has given me lots of carbohydrate, protein, and fiber. What about the oat milk? So this is a bit like normal milk, but they make it out of oats. It's a bit of a trendy drink this, so they've written it in funny writing, so it's a bit difficult to read. It says that it's got 3 grams of fat, so not much fat, 6 grams of carbohydrate, so quite a lot of carbohydrate in there, so good for the energy again. And that's it really. A little bit of fiber. Oh, but look at all these vitamins. So it's got vitamin D, riboflavin, vitamin B12, potassium, calcium, phosphorus, iodine. So lots of vitamins and minerals in here. So I'm going to put oat milk next to my vitamins and minerals. Okay, so that's my breakfast. I've got quite a good bit of carbohydrates and protein, some vitamins and minerals, and some fiber. Oh, and water. So water's not going to come up on the nutrition information, but it will come up on the ingredients. So you can see the ingredients. It's got water, oats, oil, some chemicals, salt, vitamins. So water is in here. So I'm going to write oats, milk. And also, let's not forget that I had a glass of water in there, so I'm going to put my glass of water in here. Okay, so that's my breakfast. I've had also snacks, hummus and cucumber. Hummus has got chickpeas in it, so it's probably, I'm guessing, got fiber, protein, carbohydrates. Cucumber's got lots of water in it and lots of vitamins. I'm not going to do this now because you don't need to see me do that. So your task now is to write a daily diary of everything you've eaten. So when I finish my week, I'm going to have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. And I will stop at Tuesday because the next day is Wednesday and that's the end of the week. Because remember that you're doing a week from the day that you start. Okay, so I'm going to leave you there. That's quite a lot of stuff for you to be getting on with. You've got 3 activities there. I'm really interested to see what you come up with. Please do share your ideas. Let us know how you're going on. Any questions, any problems, email us please at the Year 3 email address and we will help you out. Okay, good luck. Bye.